Hi everyone, I'm a few minutes late and I appreciate your grace and patience as I was kind of running around and got a little sidetracked and wasn't in a place where I could go ahead and pull over and make my video. But I've been thinking about this week's video for quite a while now, and it's something that personally has hit me before in a variety of different situations, and I really want to talk this week about setting boundaries. And if you've ever had to set boundaries, you know that it's easier said than done. And how do we begin to set boundaries, right? What usually happens is that we're in situations or around people that don't make us feel very good about ourselves. Hi Mary, thanks for watching. And but we take it. We just go ahead and accept that that's all there has to be and we can't do anything about it. And I'm going to tell you that the first step to setting boundaries is recognizing that that's how we feel, that that's what those people bring to our lives or those situations and things like that. And so that's the first thing is that we need to do is we need to recognize that that's how we feel. The second thing that we need to do is that we need to focus on what we want, not what somebody else wants, because I'm going to tell you this, what somebody else wants probably isn't what we need. And that's easier, again, said than done, right? That it's easy for us to go ahead and say, well, but it's so-and-so, right? How many of us have family members that have not brought out the best in us or make us become different because of the way that they treat us or the words that they use? I know I have. And, setting boundaries is about recognizing how much we want something more than what they want. And again, easier said than done, but there are different moments in our lives when we are going to have to decide for ourselves that what we want is more important than what someone else wants. And if you grew up in the age when, hey, everybody was a people pleaser and you just went ahead and did everything for everybody and you never said no, then chances are this is going to be really, really hard for you. But that's where it begins, right? You start recognizing how people make you feel and you start saying no to the things that you do not want in your life, the people that you do not want in your life. And, there are a lot of different ways that people can go ahead and set those boundaries, right? Just recently, I personally went out on my social media accounts and decided to either restrict people's access to my life or block them completely or unfriended them. And I just said, no, I don't want any drama. I don't want anything connected to them. I just can't have that in my life anymore. And that means that I have to focus more on me than I do on them. And if that upsets them, that upsets them. I'm going to live my life on my terms, and even if that doesn't bode well, okay, then maybe that person needs to take a step back and say, well, gosh, why did she do that? Why did she, block me from here? Why did she stop returning texts or whatever? Maybe there's something that I need to do differently if you really care about that person. So, it's kind of crazy to me that too many times people just go ahead and accept that this is the way something is. People say it all the time. Oh, yeah, it is what it is. Well, if you don't like it, change it. Set different boundaries. And what that does is it sends a message to the people that you are drawing that line in the sand and saying, you know what? I don't want this in my life anymore. And we can talk about it, but if you're not going to change or you're not going to understand how that makes me feel, then I don't need you in my life. I don't want you in my life. Again, easier said than done. And I've hurt some people because I've had to set those boundaries. I've said, no, I don't want this. You're not giving me what I need. But I'm going to tell you right now, if you're not sure how to identify what it is that you need, here's a quick list. If somebody is not supporting you, doesn't have your back, doesn't encourage you, doesn't help you become better, doesn't love you through your mistakes, doesn't think about you or appreciate what you give to their lives, then they are not worth your time. And it is time to go ahead and set those boundaries and just to close that door, so to speak. It's one of those things where you have to decide what you want is more important than what somebody else wants. You have to close the door on people that bring negative energy and drama and, treat other people poorly. I've seen people treat other people horribly, horribly. And I've just watched it. And I'm like, no, I don't want to be around you anymore, because that's not who I am. The old phrase, right? Guilty by association. Well, sometimes that comes up and it's not something good. So make sure that when you're drawing that line in the sand, I want you to remember that it's not just drawing the line in the sand one time. It is remembering why you drew it to begin with. That you said, nope, this is why I drew it. This still matters to me. And said, no, I don't want these kinds of people in my life, or I don't want these things in my life because they don't bring me joy. They don't add value to my life. And let me remind you of something else. And this is where people get stuck. People believe that because so-and-so is a family member, so-and-so was your best friend, or so-and-so is a coworker, that they are entitled to being a part of your life. No, they're not. They're not entitled to anything. Because I'm going to tell you that having access to someone's life is a privilege. Do not abuse that privilege. The person is not obligated in any way, shape, or form to share their life with anybody that they don't want to share it with. And that's something that I personally have had to tell someone that I've basically said, you're not entitled to my life and I'm not obligated to share it. And that's where it ended. Unfortunately, that's where it ended. So as you continue to find your truth, hold on to what you value. And that should be yourself. Hold on to what you believe. And when somebody steps in something and it doesn't make you feel right, and it doesn't make you feel good, draw that line in the sand. Draw it so that you remember why you needed to distance yourself from someone. Sometimes those lines can be erased, or they can be moved. Sometimes you have to draw them in concrete. And you have to say, no, I'm done. I'm not going to do that anymore. So remember that setting boundaries starts with awareness, saying no to what you don't want, and then taking action on it. That's your Sunday story today. Thanks again for watching. Remember to wear your mask. Be safe. And remember that we're all embarking on this journey together. And I always look forward to seeing all of you. And I appreciate your continued belief in me. Thanks for watching. Have a great and safe week. Bye-bye.